United Aircraft Corporation, the Russian state colossus that swallowed the most legendary names in aviation history and now struggles to keep them alive. When Vladimir Putin created UAC in 2006, he folded almost the entire Russian aircraft industry into one giant holding company: Sukhoi, MiG, Tupolev, Ilyushin, and more. Names that once terrified and inspired the West in equal measure. On paper, UAC is a titan, controlling the design bureaus that built the fighters of the Cold War. Its flagship today is the Su-57, Russia's answer to the F-22 and the F-35, a fifth-generation stealth fighter that is genuinely capable on paper. But the reality is grim. Production has crawled, with only a few dozen Su-57s built after years of effort, a rate that China's stealth lines eclipses many times over. The MiG-35, meant to revive the storied MiG brand, has found almost no buyers, and MiG as a fighter house has faded into near irrelevance. UAC still builds the rugged IL-76 heavy airlifter, a genuine workhorse, but the corporation as a whole is hobbled. Western sanctions have choked off critical components. The war in Ukraine has drained resources and attention, and much of Russia's aviation industry is now bent towards simply sustaining what it has rather than building the future. UAC inherited the greatest names in aviation and the deepest engineering heritage on Earth. The tragedy is watching how little of that legacy it can still turn into aircraft that actually fly. Korea Aerospace Industries, the South Korean firm that went from assembling American jets to building a fifth-generation fighter of its own in barely a generation. KAI's breakthrough came from an unglamorous starting point, a light combat jet called the FA-50, developed with heavy help from Lockheed Martin, essentially a small, affordable fighter derived from a trainer. It turned out to be exactly what a lot of countries wanted. The FA-50 became a genuine export hit, snapped up by the Philippines, Poland, Malaysia, and others as a cheap, reliable jet that could actually fight, with Poland alone ordering dozens. That success gave KAI the confidence and the cash for something far more ambitious. The KF-21 Borame is South Korea's homegrown supersonic fighter, a twin-engine 4.5-generation jet with a clear path toward full stealth, and it is arriving fast. It first flew in 2022, serial production began in 2024, and the first production aircraft rolled out in early 2026. There have been stumbles, most notably Indonesia, a founding development partner, wavering and then backing away from the co-production deal. But the trajectory is astonishing. In the space of 2 decades, KAI has gone from screwing together other people's designs to building one of the most advanced fighters ever produced outside the established powers, and it's doing it faster than almost anyone thought possible. If you are enjoying this, hit subscribe. I cover aviation and defense content like this every single week, and there is a lot more coming. Turkish Aerospace Industries, the ambitious newcomer betting that Turkey can build a fifth-generation stealth fighter almost entirely on its own. TAI is the boldest emerging player in this entire video. For years, it was a subcontractor and drone builder, but Turkey set itself an extraordinary goal: to join the tiny club of nations that can build a stealth fighter, a club that until now has meant only the United States, China, and Russia. That aircraft is the KAAN, a twin-engine fifth-generation fighter, and its progress has been startlingly fast. A demonstrator made a first flight in early 2024, years ahead of many predictions, and TAI has already landed a landmark export commitment from Indonesia for around 48 aircraft before the jet is even in full production. And Turkey has become a global powerhouse in military drones, which have reshaped conflicts from Ukraine to the Caucasus. TAI is a gamble on a colossal scale, and the aviation world is watching to see if it pays off. Saab, founded in 1937 for one purpose: to guarantee neutral Sweden its own domestic fighter supply. Saab has built world-class combat aircraft on a fraction of the budget of the American and European giants. Its icon is the Gripen, a lightweight, agile, multi-role fighter famous for something the big jets struggle with: It's cheap to fly and easy to maintain, able to operate from ordinary public roads and be refueled and rearmed in minutes by a tiny crew of conscripts. The latest version, the Gripen E, is a genuine modern fighter, and 2025 turned into a landmark year for it. Saab won firm orders from Thailand, an order for 16 Gripen Es from Ukraine, and continued to court a major Canadian deal. It also builds the Globi, a superb airborne early warning aircraft, a flying radar station that watches vast stretches of air, sea, and land at once, and orders for it poured in 2025 from France, NATO, and others. For a company from a country of 10 million people, Saab has no business competing with Lockheed and Boeing, and yet it does, year after year, by building smart, affordable aircraft that smaller nations can actually pay for and operate. Embraer Defense and Security, the Brazilian company that had no business competing with the giants and beat them anyway in the two markets it chose to fight in. Embraer is best known as the world's third largest commercial aircraft maker, but its defense arm has pulled off something remarkable. It built two aircraft that quietly conquered their niches against far bigger rivals. The first is the A-29 Super Tucano, a rugged, single-engine turboprop light attack aircraft designed for counterinsurgency and border patrol, the kind of low and slow work that a multi-million-dollar jet is absurdly overqualified for. It became a global bestseller, flying with air forces across the Americas, Africa, and beyond, including a version built in the United States. The second is the far bigger prize, the C-390 Millennium, a modern jet-powered military transport built to challenge the aging Lockheed C-130 Hercules, the aircraft that has owned the tactical airlift market for over half a century. It was an audacious target, and Embraer is hitting it. Order after order has landed from European nations, Portugal, Hungary, the Netherlands, Austria, the Czech Republic, Sweden, and Slovakia among them, choosing the Brazilian jet over the American legend. A company from a country with no great military aviation tradition is now beating one of the most established names in the business, in its own backyard. And it did it the same way Embraer always wins, by building exactly the right aircraft and selling it for the right price. Kawasaki Heavy Industries, the Japanese giant that builds some of the most specialized military aircraft in the world for exactly one customer. Kawasaki is a vast industrial conglomerate that makes motorcycles, ships, and bullet trains, but its aerospace division does something almost no other company on Earth does. It designs and builds large, sophisticated, entirely indigenous military aircraft solely for the Japan Self-Defense Forces. Two aircraft define this. The P-1 is a four-engine maritime patrol aircraft built to hunt submarines across the vast waters surrounding Japan, one of the only clean-sheet, purpose-built patrol jets in the world, with roughly 30 to 35 in service. The C-2 is a large twin-engine military transport, the biggest aircraft Japan has ever built, designed to haul cargo over long distances. Both are excellent machines. Both are also extraordinarily expensive, precisely because Japan insists on building them at home in small numbers rather than buying cheaper foreign designs. For decades, Japan's pacifist constitution and strict rules effectively banned weapons exports, which meant Kawasaki built world-class aircraft that it could sell to no one but its own government. Those rules are now loosening, and Japan has begun cautiously courting foreign buyers. Kawasaki represents a very particular kind of aerospace power, technically brilliant, financially inefficient, and built entirely around the security of a single island nation. General Atomics doesn't build aircraft the way the others do. It builds drones, and it builds the ones that defined an era. Its MQ-9 Reaper, first flew in 2001, became the face of 2 decades of remote warfare, a hunter-killer that could loiter over a target for more than a day and strike from the other side of the planet, flown by a pilot sitting in a container thousands of miles away. More than 575 Reapers have been built. Its cousin, the MQ-1C Gray Eagle, serves the U.S. Army with over 200 produced. For years, if a headline mentioned a drone strike, there was a strong chance it was a General Atomics aircraft. But the company now sits at a crossroads. The slow, unstealthy reaper that ruled the skies over insurgents is dangerously vulnerable against a real air force with real air defenses, and it's been shot down repeatedly in contested airspace. It built the aircraft that defined the last 20 years of war. The question is whether it can build the ones that define the next 20. Leonardo. Leonardo is one of Europe's largest defense companies, a sprawling firm with its hands in helicopters, electronics, and space. In fixed-wing aircraft, its specialty is the machine that comes just before the fighter, the advanced trainer. Its M346 Master is a twin-engine jet built to bridge the enormous gap between a basic propeller trainer and a frontline fighter, designed to mimic the handling of a modern combat jet so that student pilots make the leap safely. Roughly 120 have been ordered by air forces, including Italy, Poland, Israel, Singapore, and most recently Canada. Leonardo also builds special mission platforms, the unglamorous but vital aircraft stuffed with radar and sensors that do surveillance and patrol work. And like BAE, its real strength is partnership. Leonardo is one of the three industrial pillars of the Eurofighter Typhoon and a key player in Europe's next-generation fighter ambitions. It is a company that thrives in the spaces between the giants, building the trainers that create the pilots and the sensors that give the fighters their eyes.